Hey, welcome back to Hot Dog Sports. This video is part of a series analyzing the 2021 Major League Baseball depth charts. We're looking at all 30 of the Major League Baseball teams. We do this in preparation for the 2021 Major League Baseball Fantasy regular season. This is what we specialize in. It doesn't matter what league you are playing, it is important to know the players and as much as you can about the players. We want to determine who will be playing regularly, where they will be in the batting lineup, and in the pitching rotation. Today, we are looking at the San Francisco Giants. Before we begin, take a look down below and subscribe to my channel so you can stay in touch. I will see you on the other side of the introduction. Watch on. So let's get started looking at the San Francisco Giants. The thing I need to say about the team before we look at any individual player is that the entire team is full of veterans. I don't know if the Giants are just trying to have a group of players that people will enjoy watching, or if they actually think that they are going to be competitive. In reality, with the Dodgers in the division, and the Padres having spent so much money with so much young talent, it's going to be difficult to catch either one of them. That kind of leaves the Diamondbacks, the Rockies, and the Giants with just trying to get people to watch them despite the fact that they can't compete, is how I look at it. But let's get started looking at the rotation. At the top of the rotation is Kevin Gausman. He is an experienced, as is everybody is, pitcher. Previously having been with the Baltimore Orioles and then moving around a little bit. Last season was actually one of his best seasons that he's had in his entire career. He was pitching with a low ERA, his whip was really good, he seemed to be very comfortable. He's a good pitcher, 30 years old, hasn't really had success. He did have arm issues when he was younger. Maybe he found a home with the Giants. In either case, he is their #1 pitcher. And in the rotation, we should expect him to be the best pitcher. Number 2, Johnny Cueto. Johnny Cueto has been around for a long time, 8 years with the Reds, and now this is his 6th year with the Giants. He's had the last 2 years have almost been, worthless for him because of injuries. So it will be interesting to see if he can come back. For me, he's one of the most exciting pitchers to watch. He has different windups, different everything every time he's pitching, and it's very fun to watch. We have in the number 3 spot, Anthony DeStefani. I remember him as the Cincinnati Reds, maybe a good number 3. They just recently signed Aaron Sanchez to number 4 spot, and Alex Wood, who's been around the block. He is pitching in the 5th spot. So they have an experienced rotation. There's really not much surprise there. Some of the guys may pitch good for periods of time. It'll be interesting to see what happens. So let's take a look at their lineup. At catcher, we have returning to the team, Buster Posey. Buster Posey skipped out last year for his family, young family and all that. He's coming back. He hasn't been that great the last few years, probably due to injury or just being worn out. After winning 3 World Series at the very beginning of his career, it's difficult to continue on. As you see, the Giants have gotten rid of a number of the guys who had been tied into their World Series championships just because they were older and did not have much going on. Buster Posey, it'll be interesting to see if he comes back with zeal to play baseball or not. There's always been the talk of moving him to first base, and then Brandon Belt currently is day-to-day. He was one of the better players playing in 2020. So if Belt comes back, then Posey will probably play catcher mainly, and then occasionally play first base. They've signed Tommy La Stella this season, a nice addition to the team, good player, again, veteran player. What's interesting is Donovan Solano, who played second base for them last year, in fact won a Silver Slugger award. Solano is listed as a backup. He's 33 years old. He had originally been with the Yankees. Actually, originally, I believe, he was with the Cardinals and didn't get to play. Played with Miami and then with the Yankees, and now is with the Giants. It's good to see that he has found a place where they're playing him, but the Silver Slugger last year was kind of a surprise. Evan Longoria, longtime Tampa Bay Ray at third base. Shortstop Brandon Crawford, been with the Giants his entire career. Reliable defensive player, has each year gotten a little bit better hitting, and he's a very reliable hitter also. You know, they always talk about in teams that to be successful, you need to have good defense, good pitching, and timely hitting. Well, the good defense and timely hitting is Brandon Crawford. Left field, Alex Dickerson, been bounced around a bit. He hits well. I don't know about him playing every day, but they have some younger players who will be backing up. I do not know Mauricio Dubon, so I'll take a little research look on him. But being a young guy with not a big name, I bet he's probably one of the younger players on the team. Last year, right field, or this year, right field, Mike Yastrzemski, grandson of Yaz, so it's always fun to have that. But he's no young chicken. I mean, he's only played with the team for 2 years, but he's 30 years old. He spent a lot of time in the minor leagues. And then DH and also a backup, first base, and a few other positions is Wilmer Flores. Lastly, let's take a look at the relief corps. They have listed Jake McGee, who was with the Dodgers, as their closer, and they have a number of veteran-type pitchers in their bullpen. So it'll be interesting to see how they use them. None of them are going to necessarily stand out. If McGee or someone else ends up being a steady closer for them, he could get a number of saves, which would be good for fantasy. But outside of that, there's not much to look at on the relief corps. So the question we always ask ourselves when we look at a team is, who would be good for my team for fantasy baseball? Well, you're going to have to look at the pitchers first. There's a possibility if Kevin Gausman pitches well, that he might be worth having. Johnny Cueto, if he comes back from his arm issues and pitches well, he could be worthwhile. Might have to look at Buster Posey. Catcher's a weak position when it comes to hitting, and so for fantasy, he might be worthwhile. His power hasn't been there, but again, he's coming back after taking a year off. Possibly he has strength that he didn't have before, and maybe a new zeal to play hard. I would also look at Brandon Belt in deeper leagues. He had a good season last year, might continue. And in the outfield, I would look at Mike Yastrzemski. He had a good year last year. He has some flash to him. I don't know if he would be an everyday player, but he might be one that you have on your bench that you bring into play, because for the Giants, he'll probably be playing quite a bit. Thank you for watching Hot Dog Sports, where we are keeping you in the game. But before I let you go, please don't forget to subscribe. See you next time.